Well, that didn't work very well. So I got the barrel in action in from the client on this 44 carbine that I had done the re-inletting in, and mounted it to the stock, took it out to shoot it, and as you saw, one round went off. It would not feed the second round out of the tube. Now, I'm thinking something is bound up in there. I'm thinking that I don't have the relief because the cartridge stop is not swinging out of the way to let that second round come back. So that could be simple interference in the gun stock. When I look at this, where I had done the inlet repair, the recoil block or latch block is offset by quite a bit. So I am going to take this barrel in action out of the stock that I repaired, and I'm going to put it into this known good stock. This is one of the gun stocks I've been using to get a lot of my references, dimension references for doing the work that I did here. Let's get this out of the gun stock. Then I have to pull the latch block out and put it in this stock. I want to use same. I want to use all of the client's gun parts in this stock to make sure that the problem doesn't follow the metal or the barrel in action, but instead follows the gun stock. Let's get this changed over. That's a good fit. All right, let's see how this fits in. Okay. All right, let's go take this out. Throw a couple rounds downrange and see if this thing extracts, ejects, grabs another round and functions. If it functions in this stock, then I know I need to do some work on the inletting on this stock here. All right, that worked. It did not hang up. I don't know why it didn't want to fire that second round, but everything worked like it was supposed to work. So I know the problem is not in the action or the barrel in action. The problem is in the inletting that I did. I need to work my way through that. So that's what we're going to do today, is see if we can't figure out why that barrel in action will not shoot in this gun stock and fix it. I noticed when I was putting this in that when I get so far down into the inletting, it begins to bind. Now, even the regular ones would have a little bit of tension at the very bottom, but this is totally bound up. I can't get this down unless I really squeeze it in order to put the barrel band on. So we're bound up back here, but let's talk about that just for a minute. If you watch that first video when I added the wood back in order to do the inletting, I mentioned that up in here that somebody had milled all that material away, and I had to fill it all back in with epoxy. There is a little nub that goes on the back, the receiver, or into the latch block, and that latch block screws up through the back of this, and then with a bolt, and then fits down inside a recess that I had to put in or recreate. Now the problem is, or one of the problems is, there is a big gap in the back. I'm guessing it's a good 35 to 45 thousandths gap, which tells me we're still not sitting up against the back of the wood or the receiver cut. But I've also noticed that it's not sitting in the center of this inletting and is offset. So I think there's two things going on here. I think the reason it's not functioning is because I'm binding this thing up too much and it's affecting the action so it doesn't move freely. That's the first thing. And I noticed that when I first put this on, that I couldn't get this thing to activate for the action to go forward. I noticed that when I first did this before I shot it. And I think what the problem is that my nub relief is in the wrong place. What I'm going to do is go back in with a Dremel tool, and I'm going to remove enough material so that the nub fits freely in and the barrel in action sets down completely onto the inletting. And then I'll screw this back together and take it out and shoot it again and see if that's part of what is causing my issues. I also noticed that there's a huge gap behind these radiuses, which says it's not far enough back. And I am hitting the front of the radiuses on the receiver about the same amount as I'd have the too much relief back here. Why don't we set this up? I'll relieve the epoxy that I put in to fill that space up. Put the barrel in action back in, tighten it up, and as long as it's back up against the recoil, it's not going to damage anything. And see if that doesn't get rid of the springy or the compression that I'm seeing in this that's not allowing this barrel in action to get all the way down to the bottom. Alright, so that's letting it come down in the front, but it's still not letting it come back. We're going to do some old-fashioned gunsmithing here. We're going to take some inletting black, put it on a Q-tip, and slather it on the back of this receiver. Put it back in the stock. Give it a love tap. See if we can see where we're hitting. Now things are becoming a little more obvious. We're not hitting anywhere up in here, but we are hitting down in here, across here, and on the other side as well. So let's get a chisel and try to remove everywhere where that inletting black is hitting. So the problems get worse. There's a through hole that comes all the way through from the butt to the back of the receiver that needs to screw into this block. And this thing has been a challenge from the beginning because now the through hole is at the wrong angle and it's in the wrong location. So I can't get this down far enough so that the screw picks up the threads in the back. So we're going to make a plug, and we're going to epoxy a plug, walnut plug in that hole, and then we're going to try to re-drill the hole and try to get it in alignment with this block. Fun stuff, guys. So this is the ultimate and jerry-rigged. Would have been a lot better if the company that made this made it right to begin with, but we'll talk more about that at the end of the video. And because this wasn't skanky enough, we're going to finish it by hand, following a white line here and a white line there. And we're through. And by some miracle, we came out into the bigger hole. Now we'll see how it works. Let's stop here for just a few minutes and do a quick debrief. I receive into the shop an aftermarket gunstock for a Ruger 44 carbine, and the customer wants me to shape it and make it look something like an original Ruger carbine stock. Easy, right? While getting ready to do the work, I discovered that whoever my customer bought the gunstock from had already been in there and cut away all the inletting, making it impossible for the stock to support the barrel in action and to function. It was just junk. Now you can see that whole story in episode 1 of this series. The customer and I agreed to search for another replacement stock, but after a couple months searching, with no result, we make the decision to repair the stock that the customer had sent me. And you can see that story and the work I did in episode 2 of this series. In this episode, with all the repairs done, and the customer having sent me his barrel in action so that I can do the final fit and test, I hope for the best. But I expected there would be more work. Well, I got it. As I did the final fit-up, I learned that the through hole for the bolt that secures the latch block had been put in at the wrong angle and in the wrong location. So I fixed that. Then, with everything seemingly playing nice, I take it back to the range and nothing. The gun still will not feed the second round from the tube. Back into the shop. And this is where I got so involved solving the problem that I completely forgot to turn on the cameras. Yup. But here was the problem. Again, whoever made this stock had put cuts in the wrong place, and wood was interfering with the cartridge stop and not allowing the stop to move out of the way for the next round to cycle. So, back in the mill. Now with that done, we go back out to the range and